now I want to talk about what happens when you file a tax return with a balance due. So you go to file your taxes, or you have your CPA file your taxes. Those tax bills get transmitted to the IRS, and they go to a service center. Regardless of whether you paper file or whether you file electronically, that information gets processed in that service center. So tax returns generally aren't processed on the spot. They take about 4 to 6 weeks to work their way through the IRS's system. So once you file your tax returns, you can actually expect your balance due won't appear for 4 to 6 weeks. That's an important thing for non-tax counsel to be aware of, because if your client files a return, they're generally not going to hear from the IRS for 4 to 6 weeks. So you've got a little bit of a grace period if they filed on October 15th and say, oh my goodness, I owe a $20,000 liability. You're going to have about 4 to 6 weeks to adequately address the problem before you start getting correspondence from the IRS. So once in that service center and once that return has been processed, then the balance due appears on the taxpayer's account. So if you logged in the IRS computer, you would see that John Smith owes $20,000. Once John Smith owes $20,000, the IRS will send out a 3-part series of increasingly threatening letters called Notices of Balance Due. And they say, hey, you owe us money. And then if you don't respond, about 4 weeks later, they say, hey, you owe us more money. And they go, nothing. And they go, hey, we're serious. You really owe us money. Please pay us. And if you still don't do anything, then after about 16 to 24 weeks, you will move from the balance due department into automated collection systems, or ACS. So ACS, which we'll get into in a minute, is the first stage of collections. It is a big national call center-like environment that handles IRS collection matters. For more information on the timetable and how returns are processed, you can refer to publication 594, which kind of overviews the IRS collection process and the balance due process as well.